What if I told you at the end of this video, you'll be able to solve some of the problems you're having? 90% of gun owners mess this up, and more importantly, you're going to learn how to fix it. If you're struggling with inconsistency or just feel stuck, this is the missing link. We're going to cover 5 of the most overlooked fundamentals that 90% of gun owners mess up. And then we're going to teach you how to fix it. So number 1 is grip pressure. The mistake is having a weak support hand engagement. In other words, your non-dominant hand is in full control of this weapon, and it needs to touch the pistol as much as possible. That's why we teach 2 thumbs forward, because the 2 thumbs forward grip allows your non-dominant hand to really control the weapon. It's math, guys. 4 fingers on your non-dominant hand, 3 fingers on your dominant hand. Which is going to give you more power? You know the non-dominant hand is going to give you more power. Why is this important? Because poor grip leads to muzzle movement or muzzle flip. Shooting follow through up, anything that gun flips up and down for, it's going to cause you to be inconsistent. And the more inconsistent you are, the more chances are. So you want to solve a big issue is to make sure you're controlling that grip. The best way I can tell you to fix it is to work on that 60-40 pressure. More with your 40% of your pressure comes from your dominant hand and 60% comes from your non-dominant hand. Make sure you're locking out those wrists. Make sure those thumbs are forward and ensure your palms and full contact around the gun. When you use your proper grip on the firearm, you have 360-degree control of the weapon, which in turn controls muzzle flip. All right, number 2 is the magical trigger press. We've talked about this. I've got a full video on my YouTube channel about a bunch of trigger press videos, but it's important. Majority of people get carried away or excited and slap or jerk or inconsistently place their trigger finger on the wrong place on the trigger. Why does it matter? Because trigger control is the biggest reason shots go off target, especially low and left if you're a righty. Well, how we want to fix that is we want to work through a slow control press, straight back. Use dry fire, use trigger control, use reset drills, build a consistency. Our job is to press this trigger to the back side of our hand without manipulating our sight system or manipulating the firearm in any way. I figure if you can conquer a trigger press, you're going to be able to conquer the weapon itself. Number 3 is sight alignment and sight picture. The sight alignment and the sight picture are 2 different things. Most people tend to think about them being the same. We are trying to put the 3 dots together on the pistol, or a box and dot if it's a Glock, but we need to make sure we understand where to put the front post on the target itself. We need to really think about the travel bullet, how it travels. It doesn't fly straight. It rises as it shoots because it's going to cross the line of sight somewhere. So we want to make sure we use that 6 o'clock hold is the best method I can give you, which will allow you to have consistent point of aim. And with consistent point of aim, your accuracy will increase dramatically. So the mistake is looking at the target or the rear sight instead of looking at the front sight. We need to focus through the weapon, keeping the weapon level, but our real focus should be on the sight itself and make sure that front sight is focused in properly. So visually what we're looking for is the back sight to be blurry, the actual target itself to be blurry, and your front post to be crystal clear. And this would be considered front sight focused. Why does it matter? Because even misalignment, even by just a little bit, will cause the shots to dramatically dump or move at distances. And we need to kind of keep our brain about that. So the easiest way to use this is to focus on the front sight first and make sure it's crystal clear, and your rear sight and your target would be blurry. This is a positive sight alignment and positive sight picture. Number 4 is I see a lot of weird different stances back there, and the stances cause us to be unbalanced. The mistake of shooting, very common for women, is to lean back because that casing's coming out of the firearm and they've been hit by it before. Or we're leaning, we've got a good grip, but our feet are too close together, and it's causing us to be off balance. If you're shooting a pistol and it's pushing you back, then you're not leaning towards the gun enough. We want to get our nose over our toes and kind of get our booty out just a little bit to give us that stance and balance that we need for the follow-up shots. So it's imperative that if we're going to do this, we want to make sure that we have our feet shoulder width apart, bouncing on our knees just a little bit, and have our knees bent and chest over toes or nose over toes. Why is this important? Because a poor stance kills recoil management and slows down follow through. And the follow through is so important for us because that keeps the weapon level to a point that it does not come off our line of sight very often. And imperative that we get our stance and balance properly. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back causes the lean to one direction instead of leaning directly towards the pistol. Little tip for you guys: if you are running the pistol, go ahead and drive the weapon with your hands, your chest muscles. Bring your hands together, squeeze really tight. You'll feel your chest kick in, and when you're using your pecs to control the weapon, you're going to keep it level. For women, it's a push and a pull. Push out with your dominant hand, pull back with your non-dominant hand, and that'll get your back muscles put in there. That's a little tip for you guys. And number 5 is follow through. The mistake is immediately looking at your target or relaxing your grip after the shot breaks. This is why we continuously tell students 5 shots at a time, 5 shots at a time, 5 shots. Because you and I can control 5 shots, we surely can't control 15, and there becomes our problem. When we're putting too many rounds in the gun, we're just along for the ride after the 5th shot. So we want to try to make all 5 shots count, and the more we do that, the more consistent we are. When you put 15 rounds in a gun, you're just along for the ride, and at 15, we're probably shot 6 through 15, and they're not going where we want them to go. They're all over the place because we're losing our grip, we're losing our control, we're losing our drive, and we need to really control that weapon to keep the weapon level. Because magically, guys, a level pistol shoots level. So we want to have the best follow through we can. Just remember, no prairie dogging. When you shoot and you're confident, you don't need to look where the bullet's going in. It's because it creates movement during the shot and breaks consistency. We don't want to break consistency. We want to be able to control the weapon through the whole 5 shots. So how do you fix this? You're going to hold your sight picture or hold the gun still during and after the shot. Maintain a good grip and a stance through the full cycle. This is going to help us control the weapon and keep it level. If you want to fix all 5 of these for good, I have a handgun training system that is designed just for you guys. It is a focus-based PowerPoint presentation webinar that we do once a week, and it allows you to focus on a drill. There's a PowerPoint presentation that we walk through every Monday night at 5:45. Not only are you going to get the PowerPoint presentation, but you're going to get a target PDF. You're going to receive homework from us that you'll need to take to your local range and shoot. Most of these drills are set up for 5 shots at a time, and only 50 rounds are used for it. What this is going to do for you guys, it's going to allow you to work and be consistent, and you're going to stop wasting ammo and start training with a purpose. One of the most important things, it's a membership-based program. You get all of those. You get 4 of those a month. Every Monday during the week at 5:45, you get them. And you're going to start understanding the fundamentals that you're breaking or ruining at this point in time. We give you tips, tricks, and programs that will help you become the best shooter you can be. As a firearms instructor who specializes in you, we put the channel together that you're watching today to motivate, educate, and entertain, and I hope we do that. I want to give you a free ebook, guys, and the ebook itself, they're about grip and stance and trigger control and sight picture and sideline. We put those together to motivate, educate, and entertain you as well. And if you want one of those free books, all you have to do is put one in the cart. They're in the description down below. And put free ebook at checkout, and it's yours for free. Now, guys, those books are normally $3.99. We got them on sale for $2.99. If you want to add a couple more to the cart and educate yourself just a little bit more, it would not hurt my feelings at all, and you'd be supporting a family-owned business. So now, guys, you know the 5 fundamentals that most shooters get wrong, and more importantly, you know how to fix them. But here's the deal. Knowing it isn't doing it. If you want to stop wasting ammo, tighten up your groups, and actually see progress, you need more than just tips. You need a system. That's why the handgun training system that down below in our links will give you that. We give you 4 targets. We give you 4 PDFs. We give you 4 PowerPoint presentations. We give you up-to-date information. You get to work directly with me. You turn in your homework into our course system. And not only when you join the handgun training system, you got archive targets as well. There's about 20 of them there, and it's each week it's a new target and a new idea. So you don't get bored at the range, and you keep challenging yourself to become the best shooter you can be. Make sure you go ahead and hit that bell icon, the like, and the subscribe button. And every time we upload a video just like this one, you'll be the next to know. Until next time, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line of defense. I love you, folks. Bye-bye.